Hello everyone, I am Rahul Nirola, student of Maharishi International University, currently pursuing my master's degree in computer science, and this is my last course for master's degree, and I currently I am taking cloud computing. As a part of the assignment for the cloud computing, we have been asked to come up with some ideas or projects that host something on the AWS platform. So I have come up with this portfolio website. So that is basically the summary of my experience, and overall that is my portfolio hosted in AWS. So let me go through the structure of the project. The source code is available, and it's available in GitHub. So this is my URL. This is the URL for my project. Uh, and So let me go through the overall structure of the project. So I have taken geeklearners.com domain. So I have bought this domain from a third party provider, and I hosted it in GitHub. So explaining the overall structure of the project. So let's go with the beginning with the URL. So I have taken the URL or my domain from dynadot.com. So that's a third party provider. It's not in the AWS service. Uh, Whenever user makes a request to geeklearners.com, that goes first to Dynadot, and Dynadot has the namespace of Route 53 of AWS. So as the request reaches Route 53, there are two or three domains created within the Route 53. One is for the front end part. Front end part is hosted in Amazon ES3, and instead of directly connecting to Amazon S3, there is an additional layer, AWS CloudFront. So the advantage of to take the advantage of those edge servers, caching, and all other things, I have introduced AWS CloudFront between the Route 53 and Amazon S3. Basically, everything will be hosted in the Amazon S3 bucket. Those buckets will be served by AWS CloudFront. And another API endpoint from Route 53 is the API gateway. So this API gateway acts as the backend link. So whenever user needs to send any messages from my website, then the flow will be through the Amazon API gateway. So this API gateway has a connection to Lambda functions. In the Lambda functions triggers something in the simple notification service, and the simple notification service makes use of the appropriate IAM services and sends email to my personal account for now. Both of these simple notification service and API gateway have been configured with the AWS CloudWatch. Basically, all the logs of these two services will be present in the CloudWatch, so that in case of any error or any glitch, I can go to the logs and see all of those things. So this whatever I talked, so that was the part of the API or the backend. And from the developer's perspective, so I have used GitHub Actions to automate pushing the code from GitHub to Amazon S3. So the user, whenever user pushes something to the GitHub using the appropriate GitHub Actions, those plugins will automatically push my code to the Amazon S3. So let me show you the action for this. So I have configured one action. So these are all the actions. So these are all the actions that are pushing my code to Amazon S3. And the code for this CI/CD itself is simple. So there is no much coding from my part. So I have used a GitHub workflow. So these plugins are available freely under the marketplace. So just we need to create some files, and I can just use some plugins. So this particular plugin, so it pulls it from GitHub and pushes it to S3 bucket. What I need to provide is AWS S3 bucket details like bucket, access key, and the secret. Okay, now let's go through the AWS console. So the first, let's go to Route 53. Route 53, I have configured my domain in Route 53. So I have created one hosted zone, and the domain that I bought, geeklearners.com, it's configured here. So in geeklearners.com, there are two important parts. Geeklearners.com, this is the front end part that whatever we are seeing. So this is my front end part, and the api.geeklearners.com, that is my backend part. Front end is pointing to CloudFront distribution, and the api.geeklearners.com, that is pointing to some API gateway. Now let's go to CloudFront part. Uh, After that, the CloudFront distribution, I have created one CloudFront distribution. This CloudFront distribution has this native URL, and or some other configuration, and the important part is the behavior. So this CloudFront distribution is serving this origin cc minus something something something, and this is the name of the s3 bucket. So let's go through the s3 bucket as well. So in s3 bucket, these are all the, so this is my bucket name, cc minus rahul minus final minus project. So this bucket hosts all my assets for my website, and these all assets are pushed automatically by GitHub Actions. And now let's see uh, into one more thing in Route 53. So this Route 53, all of these URLs are configured with SSL certificates. So all of these URLs have SSL certificate. So the SSL part, I have taken those certificates from Certificate Manager, AWS Certificate Manager. So here, these certificates I have created for my particular domain. So this is my domain, and this is my certificate. So I have created the certificate for my geeklearners.com and strict.geeklearners.com. So this wildcard certificate provides the SSL certificate for every subdomain that I have. So this one is the SSL part. Now let's go to Lambda part. So all the backend part, so that is being done on the Lambda functions. So this is my Lambda function, my node Lambda function. So um, this Lambda function receives trigger from API gateway. So as the user makes any request from the website, the API gateway triggers an event to this Lambda function, and this Lambda function does its processing within the code. So let's go through the code as well. So first of all, if the method is pushed from the front end part, then I'm just passing those whatever it is received in the body. And this is the topic that I'm sending message to. So this is the simple notification. I have used simple notification service for sending messages. So whenever I receive anything, all of those messages will be forwarded to this topic, and whoever is subscribed to this topic, all of them will receive the messages from the website. In addition to sending the notification, all of those messages are being saved in database as well. So after it publishes the message, it is being saved to database in this part. So yeah, first of all, it's being saved to database, and after that, it is being sent to uh, SNS. Now let's go to the database part. So I have used DynamoDB to store all the messages that I receive from the front end part. So I have created one table, Cloud Final, to store all of those things. So let me explore the table items. and these are the messages that I have received from the front end part. So let's try sending one message right now. So previously there were around there are 33 items. Now let's try sending one more message. So I'll do a refresh. So I can just go to my contact forms, message title. So this is the message title. This is message body, and this is my email address. This is my guest name, and phone number could be anything. So if I hit the send message, so message sent successfully. So now the message is delivered to the user as well as it's stored in the database. So first let's check the database part. Previously there were 33 items. So if I do a refresh, now there are 34 items. Now let's check that on the Gmail as well. So yeah, this is the message. This is the message body that I received just now, 0 minutes ago. So now let's go to the API gateway part. So this one is for handling the backend API part. So I have created one API gateway, my node function API. So anything this API gateway receives is forwarded to the Lambda function that I discussed earlier. So any request that is being directly sent to the Lambda function, and yeah, this is the API gateway part. And now let's go to the CloudWatch part. So the CloudWatch is responsible for logging all of those events that I have configured. So right now in my dashboard, I have configured the logging from API gateway and Lambda function. So these are all the things that are being logged. So I recently sent a message. So it sent a message, it executed successfully, and it has returned a 200 status. So all of these are also being logged. Now the simple notification service part. So this is used for sending email to the user. So I have created one topic. So right now there are three topics, but the one that I am using currently is the final topic. So whenever a Lambda sends something to this topic, then all the subscriber of this topic will get a email message. So right now, my personal email address, I have just used it, and I am receiving those messages on my email. And this is the website that I have hosted using all of these services. So this is it contains some basic information. So it's about me. Yeah, it contains my resume, my experience, my skills, and a few blogs, and a contact me form. And finally, thank you, Professor, for all of your efforts that you put in preparing these courses. So it has been really helpful for me. I gained a lot of things out of this course. Thank you very much.